What's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some...
Not your skill at bargaining.
No deal.
Jesus Christ, what happened to you?
Welcome back, everyone, to I'll Be Right Back, Horror with Nad presents Horror Tuesdays, and I am so glad you're here with me today. Before we get into these fun topics, please hit that like and subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 500 subs by Halloween, and every little bit helps. If you could also share this video and leave me a comment as well for the algorithm gods, that would help immensely. Now, a couple housekeeping notes. I will be covering Agatha. I don't know if you can see the excitement on my face. I'll be covering Agatha all the way. Agatha All Along. Title has changed so many times. That's releasing this Wednesday, so I'll be dropping episode reviews every Thursday, maybe earlier, but Wednesday's usually a little bit booked because I'm on 2 streams. So be on the lookout for the first one this Thursday, and they're just going to be short and sweet. My thoughts on it. I really liked WandaVision, so we'll see how this goes. Also, I am still looking to drop 2 videos before October, one being my top 10 Halloween videos, or top 10 Halloween movie recommendations that will range from family-friendly all the way out to, like, full-on gore. So be on the lookout for that. And lastly, both on X and the YouTube community tab, I have a poll going to see if I should move these Horror Tuesdays to live streams every Tuesday, ranging start time anywhere from 6 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern. So go ahead and either follow me on X or hit that poll on the community tab. Let me know your thoughts if you'd like to join me every Tuesday, and or leave a comment. Either way will help. I'm just trying to collect some data, seeing if you guys want to see me stumble through this live. So that being said, let's get into some fun topics today. So the first thing I want to bring up is Speak No Evil. It kind of leads into the topic I wanted to talk about, calling a article I found, Learning from Indie Horror. But that being said, I saw Speak No Evil this past week. Actually had a live stream with Vex, Nick from the Pot Strike Back Boys, and Blue Collar Loser joining us. So that being said, go check out that live stream for my thoughts on it. Hint? I didn't like it. I think you should save your money. I think you should watch the original and enjoy that. I think even as a standalone, this remake is not that great. James McAvoy is a fantastic actor, but I really think there are better movies out there for you to spend your time and wallet on. But don't let me discourage you. Again, I'll link the stream in the description below. Go check that out. See, we have a way bigger discussion on it. There is spoilers in it, so if you don't care about spoilers, go ahead and watch it. But I wouldn't recommend it. I can't justify recommending it because it's a poorly written movie. Blumhouse yet again strikes out for me this year. So don't see it or see it. I'm just a YouTuber. Don't trust my opinion. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I do. That being said, so first topic, learning from indie horror. Can mainstream learn from indie horror? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So this article's from Joe Blow, which I love their news site. And studio horror needs to take a lesson from indie horror. That being said, there are some indie horrors that are a little not that great either. But lately, it has seemed to be that mainstream horror has, in my opinion, been a disappointment this year. There have been some great hits like Long Legs, but I really think Long Legs wouldn't have been a great hit had it not been the marketing around it. It's a great movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I don't think a lot of people would have had eyes on it had it had such a great marketing. But even Blumhouse this year, I thought it was here. This has been more evidential with the failure of Blumhouse 2024 lineup, Night Swim, Imaginary, which I haven't seen, and Afraid, which I kind of turned off by the trailers. The whole trailer just did not do it for me. So That being said, let's get into this article. There used to be a very big difference when talking about independent horror and mainstream horror. The latter would be often much more tame with the goal of maximizing the audience, which is true. Which is true. There are some indie horrors that, I mean, like I've always said, horror is an umbrella as a genre, and then there's subgenres for anything. And indie horror tends to kind of push the limits. Also, foreign horror too, as well, more so than mainstream Western horror. Uh, Indie horror would often be darker, going for moments that would stick with you longer after the credits roll. Yes. If you don't believe me, watch, and I'm going to butcher this, Exhuma, which is Exhuma. I think it's Korean. You will sleep with the lights on after watching that. So, again, another foreign horror. Devil's Bath. That's another one that's been recommended to me by someone I really trust. Indie horror. But as society has shifted into this different entertainment landscape, there is more of a desire than ever for something wholly unique, mostly in the sake of profit. I think this brings attention, again, because of the Longlegs marketing. Because I don't think Longlegs would have been as a massive hit to mainstream audiences had it not been such a clever idea around marketing. Thinking outside of the box is rewarded, as it's all about grabbing attention. I'm doing really good with reading. This is why it feels like Longlegs come out absolutely light the world on fire. Absolutely true. But I feel we're getting a little too comfortable with mainstream media. I'm looking at you, Blumhouse. I brought this up that Night Swim, Imaginary, and Afraid, which I just don't like AI horror that's just a ripoff of stuff. I don't know. I feel, is it Afraid or Imaginary? One of them has like a robot house, and I'm like, there used to be a Disney, like a Disney movie about that would come to the Disney Channel. I can't remember what it was called. PG horror is designed to maximize audience reach, while coincidentally being completely barren of any originality. I think that sums up Blumhouse. Like, I don't mean to shit on Blumhouse. I really don't. There are some really good things that Blumhouse has done, and I think it really helped with a lot of indie horror back in the day to kind of bring it to the mainstream. I think they're just I think they're a little too thinned out, and while I believe everyone should get a chance in making their movies, some movies should just stay as scripts. Afraid is simply a ripped off Megan, which is a rip off of Child's Play. And I don't know about you, but the pool stopped being scary the moment I learned to swim. Yeah, Night Swim. Night Swim. Actually, I probably would recommend watching the remake of Speak No Evil over Night Swim. I think Night Swim might be one of the worst movies I saw this year, with no redeeming qualities. I don't know. What do you think? Have you seen Night Swim? You let me know. So, all in all, this article is just saying basically that the indie horror is better. Just kidding. This article tends to really focus on Blumhouse, which maybe because it seems as though horror is one of the genres where originality can be done cheaper levels and still succeed. That is true. Some of the best horror movies I've seen are low budget horror movies, and some of the most classic horror movies, like Evil Dead and such, are low budget. And there are even movies that are even lower budget than that are classics. I like this. Streaming has all but taken out mid-tier comedies and action films, which usually made in the $60 to $70 million range, and those genres are hard to do lower budget. Sure, comedies don't need to have big effects, but Kevin Hart isn't cheap. I don't know after Borderlands. So budgets tend to balloon. Horror fans will show up to movies with no name stars, which is true, and made for under $10 million. The only promise you'll need to make the horror fans is that you're going to try and scare them. That's absolutely true. When I want to go see a horror movie in the theaters, I want to be scared. I don't want to be bored. I don't want to have to walk out. Like Longlegs is a great example because while I don't think it had many jump scares that people are usually used to me it's more of a psychological scare. It really messes with your mind, especially those who have a religious background. Anything like that really messes with me because I was raised Catholic. So So for me, it was scary. I didn't need something jumping out at me. But again, there are movies that I want something jumping out at me. I want to be terrified. I want to be hiding into my hood. That sounds unappealing now that I say it out loud, but there's something about the adrenaline rush I get from watching horror movies that I really enjoy. Plus, horror always is a there's always an underlying concept in horror that can be utilized, and I think in horror you can express a little bit more than other genres. But that being said, Blumhouse has a 2025 lineup. Seems to be spitting in the face of the originality of Megan with Megan 2.0, an untitled Insidious movies, which that needs to end. And they're doing a Conjuring TV show. Sorry, I messed with the Instagram. Black Phone 2, which, by the way, I like the Black Phone. It is not for everyone. Again, not your typical jump scare. I just like the story of it. I don't see how they're going to do a second one unless they're doing a prequel. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I liked. I really enjoyed. I am the generation that followed Matt Pat around for film theory and game theory, so I loved his deep dives into Freddy. So I really liked the Easter eggs and the lore that was built up in the first one. I forgave a lot of it. I would love to see it a little bit more scary, but I understand sticking to the PG-13. I'm gonna have a lot of kids that are gonna want to watch it. And who knows what foreign remake they'll target now that Speak of Evil is a nice little success. Is it though? Is it? I find like a lot of people who give it a pass or a mid score on it haven't seen the original. A lot of problems with this remake. The original was great because you really didn't understand characters' motives as it slowly burnt up until the third act. Here, James McAvoy is just like crazy from the get go. So obviously he's up to something. So it's no surprise. And then the whole twist at the end, changing his motivations. If you watch the original, you'll understand what I'm saying. I don't know. Is it beautifully shot? Some parts, yeah. Action just didn't miss the mark. Weird chemistry in it. Gotta go watch my stream. I'll hit the description below. But yeah, I hope to see more original horror, whether I like it or not. So that being said, this year we had Long Lakes, we had Cuckoo, which I really didn't actually like Cuckoo. I had a lot of problems with it, but I can support it by expanding more into indie horror and not having big studios behind and then watering down these stories. One that was really surprising to me, and I did a review on it, spoiler free, I'll link that as well, was Strange Darling. Fantastic thriller, really great. Might be my movie of the year. I don't know. We'll see with Nosferatu coming out, but that might be my movie of the year. So, what do you guys think? Do you think mainstream horror needs to take some lessons from indie horror? I'll answer that, obviously. I think we need to expand more and trust the audiences to have imagination and not have to fill in every single aspect of a story. Sometimes less is better when it comes to horror because it allows your audience to really think maybe what is the worst that could possibly happen, adding to that fear level. All right, so that's the first thing. Okay, second thing I want to share, which I really saw online and I was like, oh, this is really cute. If anybody has ever seen Puppet Master, old movie, this is really cool. Super dope. Oh, I love it. These puppets used to scare the crap out of me as a kid. I think it's great. Oh, I love that movie. I should revisit it. I really should. It has been a long time since I've seen it. I'm creeped out by like puppets and dolls and stuff like that. That's probably why, because I probably saw that way too young. All right. So, something I want to bring up is called The First Exorcist. What is The First Exorcist, Nadia? Well, I will tell you. Let me pull it up. So I believe in my last Horror Tuesday, I brought up Wolf Creek. So the director's actually setting up a new horror movie called The First Exorcist, which again sounds up to my tea. If you know me, religious horror is like one of my favorite genres of horror. And this sounds really good. And I really liked Wolf Creek 1 and 2, so I can trust Greg McLean. So the description of it is in the first Exorcist, a mother goes on a harrowing quest to save her daughter from a demonic possession. As their lives are descent into a nightmare, the mother learns of a mysterious healer with the power to expel demons and embark on a dangerous race against time, encountering hostile Roman authorities on her mission to find a healer. Sounds good. There's been a lot of uptick in religious horror. Or so we had First Omen, Pope's Exorcist, which is getting a sequel, and then I believe Russell Crowe did another like demonic horror movie. Can't remember what his name. And then we're getting a remake of Possession as well, which is great. Highly recommend. Young Sam Neill, great movie, terrifying movie, sticks with you. We get the first Exorcist. What was it? There was The Deliverance on Netflix, which I actually don't recommend. It was weird pacing. You know what? I do recommend it because it's a fun movie if you want to do a drinking game with. Yeah, I don't know. It has some interesting takes, I will say that, in the dialogue too. Researching the story behind it, I was like, oh, interesting. I live near Zach Bagans' museum, and the fact that they have part of that, the original story of the house there, makes me not want to go even more so, because I don't need anything following me home. This is interesting because I, again, trust Greg McLean, and I don't know why I can't talk today, but the script delivers an intensity and emotional depth that combine jaw-dropping scares. Great, because I feel like with religious horror, especially demonic possession, it's more so getting into the mind of your audience, not so much just jump scare. That's why I think The Exorcist, the original, works so well. While you do have some jump scares, it really terrifies you at the idea that this is a possibility, especially of those of us who have been raised, especially Catholic, demons exist, right? So it's a historical setting, powerful supernatural themes, and will create a milestone film experience. Ooh, I wonder what he means by that. I'm intrigued. But yeah, am I crazy? There has been a little bit of an uptick in religious horror, religious themed horror lately. It's kind of like it's round and around. It always does this. So like we get zombies, and the zombies are out, and then kind of think like the poltergeist style movies, or I forgot what they're called, like hidden cam movies, and then that's out. Oh, found footage movies, and then we move into religious horror, and then that's out. Wonder what the next one, slashers, and then it's kind of like rotating with mainstream. But yeah, this will be his first movie since Jungle, starring Daniel Radcliffe. He also directed Darkness in 2016. I saw that with Kevin Bacon, and The Belko Experiment, which I highly, highly recommend. That's a fun movie. Really good. I think it's a sleeper. A lot of people didn't see it. Indie movie. Rent it right now. Stop watching this video and go watch it right now. It's really, really good. So yeah, are you guys into religious horror? Let me know in the comments below. Okay. I don't know why it keeps moving me full screen. We don't need full screen. We just need this screen. Okay, so Terrifier 3 news. I'm wearing my Terrifier shirt, my new one that I got from Spirit Halloween, because now I am on the art train. Not much in the news for it, to be honest. It got an official poster and a popcorn bucket. So I want to pull up the poster first, because it's pretty gruesome, but I dig it. I dig it. I'm on the art chain now. You know why I'm on? My husband asked me, he's like, why all of a sudden you like this? And it's because I didn't like the first one. I didn't like the first half of the second one. It wasn't until the third act it kind of redeemed the franchise for me that makes me intrigued to see the third one. So I don't know what it is. Maybe because it was a final girl kind of third act, defending herself, really worked for me. So I will be intrigued to see the third one. By the way, everybody's like, oh, the bedroom scene, or in the first one, the split scene. It's gory, yes. I can understand as somebody who doesn't like gore or is not used to seeing stuff like that, not fit it. But I worked in the industry for so long that I've dealt with fake dead bodies and ripping things apart and tearing things and molding things. Doesn't it might go ew, like ick, but then I know that's silicone and fake blood and stuff. Or in my cases, when you had to use actual animal meat. But here we go. So it gets a new poster. Check this out. Wearing Santa's face. We've got it pulled off here. And there's art. I actually like this. It's going to be interesting to see this on such a big budget compared to the first two movies. And I think it'll have a pretty good turnout. I also think it's starting to move more towards the mainstream audience, where the first two were still kind of word of mouth. But yeah, I'll be seated to see it. I might do what I did with Speak No Evil and Beetlejuice and get a panel to talk about it the day after or whenever we can coordinate with it. Might have some other information coming out about it soon, but I got to keep the lid on that for a little bit. Just a little bit. Tiny bit. And then the other thing I wanted to share was... Where is this? It's getting its own popcorn bucket. You yourself can have Art the Clown's head in a Santa Claus thing. The only thing I don't like about this, and I've seen the side view of it, is that it's flat on the side, I think. Right? Show me the side. Okay, you want. I think I've seen photos where it's not like a head, it's flat on one side. That's kind of lame. I feel like you should have done a whole head and then just had the popcorn sitting in it. But I don't know if I'll be getting this. I think I'm a little popcorn bucket out. I've got two. I've got Baby Deadpool, and then you can kind of see right here in the corner, I've got the D20 from the Dungeons and Dragons movie here. But I don't think I need Art the Head's popcorn bucket staring at me at night. Sometimes when I'm in here reading and I look up and there's two beady eyes looking at me. I don't know if I need that. But if you do get it, congratulations, I guess. These are going to probably fly off. And this is at Cinemark. I don't know if AMC is going to be doing it. And you can pre-order starting September 18th. So there you go, Cinemark. Free publicity for it. Which features Art the Clown, which will also be available through Regal and AMC theaters. Correct my words. I guess AMC, this is the bucket for everybody. Maybe I should get it to put it on top of my Christmas tree. I'm just saying. That'd be kind of cool. I wonder what David Howard Thornton thinks when he sees stuff like that. Like, oh, my head's just gonna be in. People are gonna be shoving their hands into a popcorn bucket, and they'll have my head just on their shelves for the rest of their lives, I guess. So, what do you think? And let me know in the comments below. Are you gonna get the Art popcorn bucket? Are you on the Terrifier train like I am? Or you're like, nah, Nadia, you're still on your own with this one. You know what? I can accept that answer as well. Because, again, this is a very hit or miss kind of series, I think, for folks. Okay. So we cover everything horror on this channel, including books, comics, and stuff. And yes, I am aware I need to get my comic books figured out to recommend to everyone. Screambox Original Horror Anthology is coming out. I thought this was really cool. So this is going to be from Screambox TV. Screambox Original Horror Anthology Tales from the Void, based on the viral stories from the Reddit No Sleep community, will get under viewers' skins this October, which I am totally for. This is great. So these are going to be, I'm assuming, either short movies based on these stories. So correction, I originally thought they were books because they look like awesome fucking books. Like, but I guess not. They're going to be they're based on short stories. So kind of like Channel Zero, more, I guess. So each of these are going to have Sunday, October 3rd, Into the Unknown, directed by Joel Lynch, based on the No Sleep story, The Black Square, by Matt Domensky. I kind of want to kind of dive into these and see if I like them as a book, because honestly, from looking at them, they look like great book titles, even great posters too. But yeah, I wanted everybody to kind of be aware of this, and I will link this in the comments below. This is indie horror, right? These are going to be shorter stories. These are going to have no names. Let's go support them. If they're great storytelling, let's do it. So that's on the Screambox TV. All right. So, what is the future of the Friday the 13th series? I don't know. We have back and forth, left and right. But before we get into that, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel because I'm trying to get to 500 subs by Halloween, and you know you want to help your girl out. So do it. All right. Let me pull up this article. I feel like every week there's a new article about the Friday the 13th series. Brought to you by Bloody Disgusting. Well, this is backwards, but Bloody Disgusting shirt. Sean S. Cunningham shares his thoughts on the future of Friday the 13th and Crystal Lake, which is that series that they're trying to put together. So, at Silver Screen Con, this past weekend, Friday the 13th creator Sean S. Cunningham provided an update on the long-gesturing TV series Crystal Lake, including potential release date. Okay, so now we potentially have a release date. I know it's been back and forth on this. Last I heard, they were talking about shooting in Australia at the end of this year and releasing for Halloween 2025. But I've heard versions of this story for so long, I don't put a lot of credibility into it. There's so many things that can go sideways. Correct. He broke down the trials and tribulation of the series thus far. Some time ago, the rights expired on the original script, so then it became a doubt about who owns what after 35 years. Oof, that's a mess. That being worked out by lawyers, and we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. We were trying to do a TV series, which we actually got pretty far down the road. I'm very happy with it. I thought it was going to be a lot of fun. And then the rights thing blew up and TV series got postponed. And then the pandemic arrived. Postponed, then canceled, then brought back. I feel like, again, every week I'm reading a different article about what's going on with Crystal Lake. Finally, A24 decided that they would hook up with Peacock to do a Friday the 13th TV series. They were going to hire Brian Fuller, a very good writer. In the world of television, the showrunner, the main writer, is the star. That's the person you have to have complete faith in. Yada yada. Brian got the job. It was greenlit. It was going forward. They started to set up the writer's room, and they didn't like the road he was going down. So they abandoned it, and they hired another writer, Brad Cable King. Okay. On the subject, I don't know why a Crystal Lake. First of all, I don't know why we're doing this, because if we're doing a prequel to Friday the 13th, Jason's not really in it as, 6-something freak of nature with a hockey mask. Anybody who's watched the original knows he's not even in the original. It's not even the first one. Well, okay. Side note, he's in the end scene. I get it. Pulls the infamous pulling the girl in the lake. But the spoiler alert, the first movie, it's his mom. I don't know if they're trying to do a Bates Motel kind of deal here. I don't know if it's going to work. But on the subject of the franchise kill scenes, Cunningham detailed a sequence from the Scrap TV series that predated the Crystal Lake project that currently moving forward at A24 Peacock, with Kane serving as the new showrunner. This was really cool. So a bunch of kids, 8 and 9 years old, out on the ice playing pee-wee hockey. One kid does a breakaway, skates down, and who's in the net but Jason. Dun, dun, dun. Tries to shoot. Jason blocks. The kid who's trailing scores the goal and goes, yay. And then Jason's pissed, chuckles. He starts chopping at the kids. The ice starts to crack, and we cut out of that. The explanation would be the kids in high school had shot this video as a joke, and it was going viral on the internet, but I thought it was so silly, so much fun. I wish we had gotten a chance to shoot it. Me too, man. That sounds pretty cool. He also teased there's a new video game coming out. I don't think they know exactly what they're doing with this franchise. And I know recently the Halloween franchise was rebooted of that trilogy that were very hit or miss depending on who you're talking to. And Scream is getting another one. I don't know why you want to do a prequel to this. I will be watching it. Don't get me wrong. I'll probably cover it too. Because I like Friday the 13th franchise. It's fun. All of them are fun. I don't even the crappier ones. My favorite's the Jason Goes to Manhattan. like it's silly, it's dumb, but it's fun. And I don't like it when they take slashers like that and kind of try to tone it up and make it serious. Why? That's not what the audience. Well, I don't know what the audience wanted. Above my pay grade. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the Seven Dwarves. Seven Dwarves, yes, because everybody's getting their own horror after the Pooh-verse announcement. So I guess the Seven Dwarves horror movie will be putting a terrifying twist on the Snow White characters. Again, from Joe Blow. So I guess putting a horror twist on the popular children's story who are in public domain has become a popular trend these days. We have the Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie one. There We're working on horror versions of Goldilocks, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and the whole cinematic universe that is built out of horror movies based off the likes of the Winnie the Pooh, Bambi, Peter Pan, and another, the Seven Dwarfs. Put a terrifying twist on Snow White. Is scheduled for release of March of this coming year, my birthday month. How awesome! Where was it? I laughed the first time I read this description. In the Seven Dwarfs, Snow White narrowly escapes the clutches of the evil witch, only to find herself lost in an eerie depth of the forest. But her nightmare is far from over. She soon becomes a prey of a sadistic group of dwarves. Cranky, jolly, drowsy, meek, snuffy, wheezy, chief, and ditzy. Far from being her protectors, these sadistic dwarves hunt her relentlessly. Not rent, you know what I mean. Forcing Snow White to fight for survival. As she outwits and eliminates each dwarf one by one, the tension rises to a blood-soaked cinema climax in the spine-chilling horror reimagining. All right, I'm in. Why not? I liked the Winnie the Pooh. I saw the first one. These are fun, silly movies. Again, horrors. There's genres of everything for everybody, but pretty basic poster. I'm sure we'll get a trailer soon. March of 2025. They're starting to release trailers for January, so we should, in a couple of weeks, maybe start to see a trailer for this. But yeah, are you looking forward to seeing how the Seven Dwarves will mix horror and the story of Snow White? Share your thoughts. Oh, well, they're telling you to share your thoughts, but you share your thoughts on my video. You let me know what you think. Are you going to be excited to check out, again, Cranky, Jolly, Drowsy, Meek, Snuffy, Wheezy, Chief, and Ditzy as they hunt Snow White? I bet this is going to be better than the Rachel Zegler Snow White that Disney's going to be putting out. Just saying. Could be. So. And then Constantine 2. I'm excited to cover this. I hope this is good. I have a bunch of Constantine comics. Is he behind? Where is he? Oh, there he is. I have Constantine as a pop. Somebody gifted it to me. There you go. Doesn't look like Keanu Reeves. Maybe I should paint his hair black. I don't know. Anyway, Keanu is back for it too as well. Script has been delivered to producers, and I think they got a green light for it. I'm too scared to read it though. I want it to be good so bad. Probably read it in the next few days when I get on the airplane. Follows this synopsis. Okay, ready for it? As a suicide survivor, the demon hunter John Constantine has literally been to hell and back, and he knows that when he dies, he's going one-way ticket to Satan's realm unless he can earn enough goodwill to climb God's stairway to heaven, while helping the policewoman Angela Dobson in the investigation of her identical twins' apparent suicide. This is the first one. I was like, wait a minute. This is the first. I thought we got a synopsis for the second one. Well, that's a letdown. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, if you haven't seen the first one, that's a synopsis for the first one. Go watch. Now, listen. Is it comic book accurate? Kind of. Kind of for the times that it came out. I think it's really good. It's one of those movies I'll just kind of throw on in the background. I enjoy it. I love the comics. Don't get me. And I actually really liked I think it was 1 season or 2 season TV show that Fox did that not a lot of people watched, but I think it was a little bit more comic book accurate to the series. And then I believe that actor went to do a bunch of CW, like cameos and stuff. But this tends to be R-rated for this one. Who knows? It might be good. It might be good. Keanu's back. I think it's interesting that they didn't just reboot it with a younger actor that looks a little bit more like John in the books. But it's okay. I like Keanu. I will watch anything usually that he is in. I like him. I actually do like him in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Stoker's Dracula. I know he can't really act in that, but I enjoy him in there. So, all right, we're almost to the end, folks. We're almost to the end. 2 more articles left, but in the meantime, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And remember, I will be doing Agatha all the way, all along, whatever. I'll be doing the Agatha coverage. I'll be dropping reviews for that on Thursdays. So please make sure you hit subscribe. And again, vote to see if I should do these Horror Tuesdays live. If you guys want to interact with me, love to have you along for the journey as I stumble across this stuff. All right. So everybody knows that it's been, what, 14 years? 15 years since the last Game of Thrones book. But GRrmartin has been busy with a lot of TV shows. And GRrmartin and vampires. I didn't actually know that he wrote a vampire novel. And he wants I can't do it. Del Toro to make an adaptation. And if you know which Del Toro, sorry. English is, I don't know, hard for me, I guess. He wants him to make an adaptation of his vampire novel called Fevre Dream, which I went instantly to go add to my cart because I love vampire stories as I'm working my way through the Anne Rice stuff. And first of all, bro, sit your butt down and finish your book. But on a second note, I'd be intrigued to see how he writes vampires. But he wants Del Toro to direct it, and I guess Del Toro wants to direct it too, but he's always like, there's this project and this project. He's full. So he's hoping he'll be able to adapt it as long as he's alive. Don't know how long that is. They're both very older gentlemen. I hope they live a very long and healthy life. The only thing that kind of threw me off is that they want to cast Ron Perlman in it as a character in the book, which I want to read the book to see if that kind of works with it. And they'll need 100 million for this. 100 million, George? Finish the book. You'll get your 100 million. So, as described for this one, by the winter is coming. As described by winter. Why would they go as described by winter is coming? Oh, maybe winter is coming is a source. Okay. Anyway, Fevre Dream is a vampire novel set along the Mississippi River, mid-1800s. While dials deep into Martin's strengths as a horror writer, the story follows a grisly, down-on-his-luck steamboat captain named, and this is Abner Marsh, who's contracted a mysterious man named Joshua York to ferry him up and down the river so that he can fulfill a secret agenda. Marsh unwillingly becomes wrapped in a wider world of vampiric politics filled with twists and turns that would make any Song of Ice and Fire reader feel right at home. Ooh, vampires and politics? Sign me up. I will link this article, and there is a link for you to buy it on Amazon, but you can get it hard copy, and it's still available. So it's called Fevre Dream, and it's spelled F-E-R... Look at me trying to spell. F-E-V-R-E. So, weird. I hope I'm saying this right. Fevre Dream. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about in this episode is upcoming horror movies that maybe you do know, maybe you don't know, maybe you think they're in the wrong month. I don't know. But let's talk about what's coming next. All right. So I have this website that I pulled up, and it actually has some of the 2025 stuff, but we're just going to focus on 2024. Okay. So what is coming out soon? The Front Room, which just released. I'm hearing kind of mixed bag on that one. I do want to see it. I think I'll wait to see it. Psychological horror follows a young couple expecting a child while also being forced to start caring for its estranged stepmother. Again, has Brandy. I would really like to see it, but I don't know. I'm gonna wait, I think, to stream it because again, mixed bag on it. Get out of here, ads. Get out of here. Speak no evil. You know my opinions on this. Just watch the original. Don't see the remake, or go see the remake and tell me I'm wrong. The Substance. This is body horror. It has Dennis Quaid and Demi Moore in it. After a TV personality loses hope upon losing her job on her 50th birthday, she's offered what appears to be a miracle cure for aging that turns her into the best version of herself. This is out on the 20th, so this coming week. It is body horror. I'll be frank, I don't know if I'm going to check it out. I don't do well with body horror. I do well with gore, but I don't do well with body horror, which is weird. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't like pus and stuff that deals with the human body that could actually happen, I guess, instead of something like Evil Dead where you grow 3 heads out and it's a fantasy kind of deal. I don't know. Maybe you can grow 3 heads, but yeah. Bagman. A father is threatened by a mythical supernatural entity from his childhood that returns to wreak havoc on his family. This is an interesting image. I would be interested to see. Also, by the way, it's saying watch while waiting. For the other ones, watch while waiting. So for the front room, American Horror Story, no. But 1987's Stepfather, yes. American Horror Story, no. 1987's Father, yes. I am not a fan of American Horror Story. You keep roping me back in, Ryan Murphy. I always go, oh, maybe this season will be as good as the first 3. Never is. Never is. Speak no evil. While watching Funny Games and Beach House, just go watch the original Speak No Evil. You can stream it. For this one, you can watch Starry Eyes and Last Night in Soho, which I haven't seen. I kind of just fell off the map for me, but I think I will check it out. For this one, for the Bagman, watch The Babadook, which is really good. And Sometimes They Come Back. Yes. Recommend both. Very good. Never Let Go, which will be out, it says September 27th. So a mother and her twin sons are tormented for years by a mysterious evil entity, but the thing takes an even darker turn when one of the brothers begins to doubt the malevolent spirit is real. So it has Halle Berry in it, which returned to horror, which is great. I'm intrigued. The trailer looks very interesting to me. While you wait, watch Fertility, which I know a lot of people have recommended to me, and No One Will Save You, which I will not watch. I will not watch until we can get maybe some kind of members stream, because it's really hard sometimes to do the watch parties without you actually watching what's on the screen. So figure it out. I am setting up a Discord right now that will be available soon for everybody to join and talk to me over there too as well. Monster Summer, October 4th, 2024. A group of teen friends partner with a retired detective to investigate a mysterious fairy tale-esque force threatening both their island home and their summer fun. Interesting. Cast and director Mel Gibson, Kevin James. I have not heard of this one. Monster Summer is a rare movie that dubbed an adventure horror from child star How I Met Your Mother. While you wait, though, you can watch Attack on the Block and Stand By Me. Stand By Me is great too. Oh, that's a good one too. The Forest Hill, October 4th. So this is Shelley Duvall's last performance on film. Shining, if you don't know, iconic. The man experienced a traumatic head injury while camping in the woods around the Catskills and soon suffers nightmarish visions. Not a lot to go off the description, but it says while you're waiting, watch In Earth and Blair Witch. Okay. Ooh, VHS Beyond, October 4th, 2024. I have a special place in my heart for all the VHS movies because I worked on the second one. So this one is going to be, I believe, more of a sci-fi concept. So it says will feature 6 stories loosely themed around concepts of horror set in space, like Jason X, Dracula 3000. While you wait, watch the previous VHS movies and Creepshow. And then we have Terrifier 3. not much to self-explain. And while you watch Waiting, the first two Terrifier movies and the 1990s miniseries, interesting. Cult favorite ghoul Art the Clown is back to raise hell from unwitting citizens of Miles County in the sequel, where it's set on Christmas Eve, which will be October 11th. Smile 2, October 18th. I know a lot of people aren't actually very excited for this. I think it's going to do great. I really like the first one. I hope they kind of stick to the practical effects of it. Sequel hits 2022. Shifts the story to follow a pop star who's expecting disturbing events just as set to embark on a world tour. I think it's a pretty interesting concept. It's new. It's not something we've seen before, so I'm in. I'd like to check it out. What to watch while you're waiting? They recommend Happy Death Day and It Follows. Both I recommend as well. Both are very good. You're a Monster, October 25th, which is, I think this is like a tale on, kind of a horror tale on Beauty and the Beast, on a rare romantic comedy horror to hit the big screen. Your Monster centers on actress who discovers a horrifying yet enduring monster in her closet as she's dealing with a cancer diagnosis and a huge breakup. What to watch while? Drop Dead Fred and Warm Bodies, both great films too. I will be interested to see how this is. Again, I've seen the trailer, gives me a little bit of a Beauty and the Beast vibes, but who knows? Bambi the Reckoning, October 31st. I'm guessing Bambi will have revenge. Mutilated by still grieving Bambi on a revenge-filled rampage. Okay. What to watch while waiting? Bambi and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Heretic 2, this looks great. He has Hugh Grant in it. Two Mormon missionaries knock on the door of Mr. Reed with the intent of converting him to their faith, but soon finds themselves caught in a game of cat and mouse. What to watch while waiting? Knock on the Cabin's okay. The Visit's great, but Knock on the Cabin's okay. Book's better. And that'll be November 15th. We have Night Bitch with 8. Oh, is this the dog one? Amy Adams. Based on Rachel Yore's Night Bitch, follows a woman who puts her career on hold to be a stay-at-home mom, but her domestic life soon takes a horrifying turn. I'm pretty sure this is... Is this the one where she becomes a dog? Vampire movie, which is... Oh. Okay, maybe that's not it. I really thought that was going to be the dog movie. There's and what to watch? Ginger Snaps and Cat People. I'm pretty sure that's the dog. Wait a minute, dog. Wait a minute. Woman as a dog movie. That's a weird way to phrase it. You would think. I'm pretty sure. Is it? Yeah, no, it is. That's it. There's a weird description about it. Why didn't they add that the fact that she thinks she's turning into a dog? That's weird. Yeah, this is a weird movie. I don't know if I'm going to see it, but while you watch Ginger Snaps. That's really good. And I don't know about Cat People, but Ginger Snaps is very good. And last but not least, Nosferatu, which is going to be released on Christmas Day. Please note that, Christmas Day. So if you want to see it, make sure you buy your tickets when they go on sale. I will be seated for first viewing of this. Bill Skarsgård, Willem Dafoe, and I'm interested to see how Lily Rose Depp does. Aaron Taylor Johnson, and where is it? Nicholas Holtz. Okay, it's weird that he's plays in 2 vampire movies, but anyway. This is a remake of the 1922 horror classic. I don't really think it is a remake. I just think it's more of an expansion on it. But while you wait, watch the 1922 or The Witch. Both are great. The rest of it is going to be stuff that's going to be coming into 2025. We don't need to cover that. We're still in 2024. Let's not rush, right? That being said, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of Horror Tuesday. I hope you learned some things you didn't know was happening in the horror world. I hope you got some laughs out of it. Again, please hit that like and subscribe button for me. I'm trying to get to 500 by Halloween. Follow me along with Agatha. So Nadia all along. on Thursdays as I release those, and a couple more videos that will be coming down the pipeline. Also, last note too, something I forgot to mention in the beginning was I will be doing a weekly panel to discuss From every Friday. Starting the 27th, we'll be going episode by episode for the new season. So if you're a fan of that series, join us. I believe we're going, I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern, Friday nights. So join us along. That being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. And as always, stay spooky.